Greetings, YouTube. Happy Monday. It is hard for some people to believe this, but I really am a college professor at a major university, and because it is August now, I go back and I teach a full schedule in just a couple weeks, which means there's something called syllabi that I am currently prepping, and when my classes start, they'll be sometimes hitting right when the deals hit. So I promise I will always grade every deal eventually, but sometimes it'll take a couple of hours. In this case, it takes about 1 hour past when I usually review it. I saw some comments on the last time I was late to this saying, I can't believe he's late. And I guess that's sort of a compliment in that I've spoiled so many videos with like 10 minutes past the time. But I also just ask for your patience because YouTube is not my main job. If it was my main job, I'd be freaking out at the disparity of income from month to month because it is very hard. And I would never recommend it to have YouTube be your main source of income because at any point your account could be suspended or YouTube could crash or the algorithm could change, etc. It is a great hobby. It is the number one hobby for me, and sometimes it takes precedent in terms of hours like in the summer over everything else when I don't teach. But now my teaching life is back, and thus I have to adjust my MCOC YouTube schedule accordingly. But without further ado, we're going to talk today about the Tier 5 Basic Callus Bundle. This thing used to be like once a month. Now it feels like it's once or twice a week, which also devalues Alliance War rewards because if you're like me and you don't want to ever do Alliance War again, you can just snatch one of these Tier 5 Basic Callus offers up a couple times a month and be maybe even better than you would be if you didn't snatch the offers up and instead did the stress and grind of Alliance War multiple times a week. So the Tier 5 Basic Callus Bundle is typically geared toward people who are uncollected and above, because if you're not, you're probably still concerned about taking up your 4 stars to rank 4 or maybe rank 5, or your 5 stars to maybe rank 3, probably not yet rank 4. So it is also because you're just not really worried about this item. In fact, I didn't know what Tier 5 Basic Callus even were until, of course, I got a 5-star to rank 4. And back in the day, it took me multiple years to ever be in that position when I finally got my first 5-star to rank 4, Mr. Star-Lord. Okay, so this is a limit 3 per summoner bundle, which is also a favorite of Kabam's. Now, I will say this. Some of this is a little better than average, and some of this is worse. I have said time and time again in 2019, and July 4th was sort of the precipice of this, that Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts should be, hopefully someday in the next year, 4 for an Odin, 4 for $100 United States currency, or $25 a piece. That is still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but that means that you could take a 5-star to rank 4 for $100 worth of Tier 2 Alphas. That means the days of me saying that a Tier 2 Alpha should be $50 are done. In fact, we saw in the August monthly calendar, and given I know it's over the course of a month, not immediate, but the value of Tier 2 Alphas went down to below 3 for $100 or $33 a piece, and that is the best deal we have seen for that item since Marvel Contest of Champions was born. This offer takes a gigantic step back in the wrong direction by valuing half of a Tier 2 Alpha at $50. And there are going to be the Kabam defenders who comment, but Prof, this isn't a Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst bundle, this is a Tier 5 Catalyst bundle. Does not matter. We see these items in bundles grouped together a lot. In fact, I associate them together now, not just because of Alliance War Seasons crystals, in which, of course, you get some form of Tier 2 Alpha and usually about 1,000 Tier 5 Basic Callus fragments, although that has improved now in the new season of Alliance War and just the new iteration of Alliance War in general. But this should be 36,000 Tier 2 Alpha Callus fragments for a C- grade for those at best. And obviously, if we would like the price of this to at least come down to $33 a piece, then you're looking at more like a D plus for 50. But half of this is a straight failing F, an F minus if possible. Now, 9,000 Tier 5 Basic Callus fragments is pretty good. okay, for what we've seen in the past. Keep in mind, back in the day, they used to charge $100 for 9,000 Tier 5 Basic, and they have cut that price in half. So I would say for Tier 5 Basic Kalos Fragments, that's probably C plus B minus territory, but that is mixed with an F for Tier 2 Alpha Kalos Fragments. Now I'm going to do a better job of talking about the boosts, because even though I still personally love the Greater Champion boost the most, I have been told from those of you who are high-level Alliance War players that you love what's called the Rainbow Boost, not to be confused with Kermit the Frog's Rainbow Connection, because you love to do a greater attack and a greater health and a greater champion together. And because of that, you love these boosts. Now, I would still argue that if that's the case, you should be getting at least double or triple the amount of them that you get, because you only get 2 boosts total, a greater health and a greater attack, and that is not ideal. It's not ideal also to think that you would have to buy $150 of this worth, or the max limit of 3, to get 1.5 Tier 2 Alpha, and just over half of a Tier 5 Basic Kalos. Actually about 5,000 more, because half is 22,500 fragments, or half of 45,000. But that still puts a Tier 5 Basic at about $250 to $300, which is only one. If it only took one Tier 5 Basic to take, say, a 5-star up to rank 5, it would be different. But you need double that. So let's say, conservatively, it's $250 for a Tier 5 Basic. That means it's $500. And that's just for the Tier 5 Basic Kalos Fragments portion of the rank up. $500 to take a 5-star to rank 5, and you've got to triple that. You got to go to $750 to take a 6-star to rank 2, because that's how many Tier 5 Basic fully formed you need to take a 6-star to rank 2 in 3 fully formed. So this bundle is the whale starter of the week, and I know that whales always snatch these up because it is a arms race for Tier 5 Basic and Tier 2 Alpha, aka the rank up materials needed for 5 stars to max, but especially 6 stars now. But at the same time, for the average player, this bundle does not pass any sort of smell test. I'm going to put it at a D+. It is actually below overall what I would consider to be a weak average bundle. A lot of that has to do with the Tier 2 Alphas and the lack of more greater attack and greater health. I do understand the value of those boosts, but just 2 for $50, that is pretty pathetic. Also worth mentioning a little bit is the gold, because at this point in 2019, I think that Kabam should look to give about 500,000 gold for $50, or a million gold for $100 worth. This, of course, is half that, which also is below average. So this entire bundle is made for people who don't care about their disposable income, because they have so much of it to dispose. The Shamus of the whales that look down and they've got to throw their cash at something, because they just have so much of it that it's flowing out of their pockets and they don't know what to do. It's the ultimate first world problem. They can't get into their gated community because they're related to Bill Gates or something like that. Either way, it's a Monday. The video is now on YouTube, because I'm assuming if you're listening to this, I have properly uploaded it and posted it. I will be delayed every now and then because of my main job commitment of teaching multimedia journalism and video production. And hey, I even am now teaching a YouTube class at Oklahoma State, which is very, very exciting. But at the same time, I promise, as I always do, I don't care if it's 5 hours past or 10 hours past or 10 minutes past when the offer comes in the game. I will eventually review it. I just ask for your continued patience and understanding that this technically is still my full-time side hobby and not my main job. Have a great day, YouTube. Thanks for watching.